You made it through the morning, boarded, found the cabin, stayed off the buffet. Smart. Here's what nobody told you about the afternoon. The afternoon is when the ship stops feeling like a transport and starts feeling like a vacation. And that is exactly when your guard goes down. The mistakes in the next 15 points cost people more money, more sleep, and more frustration than anything that happened before noon, including one, number 29, that has caused seniors to miss their shore excursion entirely, not because of bad weather, because of their phone. Let's get into it. Number 16, find your own sail-away spot. Main deck, music, drinks, 2,000 people fighting for the same railing. I understand the appeal, the energy is real, but the view is the same from everywhere, and you're spending it shoulder to shoulder with strangers. Walk forward, go up one deck, away from the speakers. I found this by accident on my third cruise, ended up with an unobstructed view, a full horizon, and space to actually breathe. The crowd below me was having the same sail away, but not the same experience. You're leaving port. That moment deserves more than a packed railing. Number 17, stay off the elevators between 3 and 6 in the afternoon. This is not a suggestion, it's a calculation. Royal Caribbean's Harmony of the Seas carries over 5,400 passengers. It has 24 elevators. Between 3 and 6, crew is moving luggage to every cabin on every deck. Passengers are changing for dinner. Everyone hits the button at the same time. Wait times during this window routinely run 10 to 15 minutes per trip. I have stood in front of a closed elevator door for 12 minutes on a ship with over 24 elevators. Use the stairs between decks when you can, or stay where you are until 6:30. The elevator will exist again after dinner. Right now, it belongs to everyone else. Number 18, secure your valuables now, today. Most people think the in-room safe is for paranoid travelers, so they leave the passport in their bag, cash in a pocket, phone on the nightstand. Then they start unpacking, moving around, going in and out, and somewhere in that movement, something goes missing. Lost or misplaced valuables rank consistently among the top passenger complaints on day one. Not theft, just people in motion without a system. 30 seconds. Open the safe, put in what matters, set a code you'll remember. Done for the week, and you'll never spend 10 minutes looking for your passport in a cabin that suddenly feels too small. Speaking of the cabin, stay with me for number 19. It's a design feature on almost every modern ship that most passengers discover the wrong way. Number 19, close the balcony door when you're not standing right there. This is not about comfort, it's about engineering. On Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, and most modern ships, the balcony door is connected to a sensor. When the door is open, the air conditioning cuts off automatically. It's an energy-saving system, standard design. So you open the door for fresh air. The room gets warmer. You assume the AC is broken. You call maintenance. Maintenance comes, closes the door, problem solved. I've watched this exact conversation play out in cruise forums more times than I can count. Open it when you're standing on the balcony. Close it when you step back inside. That's all there is to it. Number 20, talk to your cabin steward today. Not tomorrow, today. This person controls how comfortable the next 7 days feel. Not guest services, not the front desk. Your steward. One trip, I took 2 minutes to introduce myself. Mentioned I'd need extra pillows, more hangers, and ice in the bucket every evening. Every day it was there before I even thought about it. Different trip, I kept things brief, stayed transactional. Nothing was wrong exactly, but every small request moved slower. Every morning felt like starting from zero. 2 minutes on day one versus 7 days of friction. If you need a specific pillow for your back, a bed configuration change, or the room kept at a certain temperature, say so today. It becomes habit, not a favor. Number 21, know the dress code before you show up to dinner. Every cruise line has a different standard. Royal Caribbean has formal nights. Norwegian is mostly casual. Carnival sits somewhere in between. And here's where it goes wrong. People pack without checking, arrive at the dining room door on a formal night in shorts and sandals, and end up turned away or redirected to the buffet. I've seen it happen, not because they were sloppy, because nobody told them that Thursday would be a formal night. Check the daily planner on your app tonight. Look at which evenings have dress requirements. You pack the right clothes. Make sure you know which night to wear them. Number 22. Unpack your bags before you sleep tonight. A passenger satisfaction study found that cabin clutter was the single most cited reason cruisers felt their room was too small. Even in larger staterooms, even with a balcony, the room didn't change. The suitcases on the floor made it feel smaller. I've done this both ways. Unpacked on day 1, the cabin felt spacious all week. Waited until day 3 once, same cabin, felt cramped and chaotic every morning until I finally dealt with it. 20 minutes tonight, everything gets a drawer, every bag goes under the bed, and you stop spending your vacation fighting for floor space in your own room. Number 24, don't let the first night take a third of your budget. Here's the number. According to Cruise Lines International Association data, the average passenger spends 34% of their total onboard budget in the first 24 hours. One night, a third of the entire trip. The casino opens early, the specialty bars are full and festive, the shops are running embarkation deals. The ship knows exactly what it's doing. I met a passenger on a 7-day cruise who went hard on night 1. For the rest of the trip, he was watching his account and skipping excursions he'd actually been looking forward to. Enjoy the night. I'm not saying don't, just don't let the energy of embarkation evening make a decision your week 4 bank statement will regret. Number 24. Before you close your eyes, check tomorrow's schedule. 2 minutes, that's the difference between a calm morning and a chaotic one. What time are you docking? What's open for breakfast? Did you book an excursion? What time does it leave? Sea day or port day? People miss booked tours, rush off the ship stressed, and skip breakfast entirely, not because they didn't care, but because they went to sleep without a plan. Open the app, look at the daily planner. 60 seconds tonight means your morning belongs to you. Number 25. Nothing goes on the balcony overnight. I mean nothing. Wind speed at sea averages 15 to 25 miles per hour on a calm night. During mild weather events, it hits 35 or higher. A shirt left on a balcony chair doesn't dry overnight. It disappears, not shifts, not falls inside. Gone. And here's where it becomes more than just a shirt. I've heard from seniors who left their reading glasses on the balcony table. Gone by morning. A hearing aid left to dry? Gone. Medication set aside for the next morning? Gone. You are at sea. The nearest replacement for any of those items is the next port, if they carry what you need. If it matters to your health or your day, it sleeps inside every night, no exceptions. Number 26. Decide where you're having breakfast before you go to sleep. 2 types of mornings on a cruise ship. You pick one tonight. Option A, wake up, walk directly to where you decided on last night, sit down by 7:45, eat in peace, day starts well. Option B, wake up, wander the ship, spend 20 minutes figuring out what's even open, end up at a buffet already packed with 400 people, stand with a plate looking for a seat, eat in 8 minutes standing up, already behind. I watched this happen to a couple on their second morning. They'd had a beautiful day 1, relaxed, happy, ahead of everything. Day 2, they followed option B. By 9 a.m., they were frustrated before the ship had even docked. Main dining room opens at 7:30 on most ships. The buffet peaks between 8 and 9. 60 seconds tonight. One decision. Your morning thanks you for it. Number 27. Don't leave food outside overnight. One wind gust and you've got plates on the floor, drinks knocked over, and dinners scattered across the balcony. I've walked past this at 7 in the morning. It is not a great sight. And beyond the mess, seabirds at sea are not shy. Leave food outside and you may wake up to guests who didn't knock and have no plans to leave. 10 seconds. Bring it inside. That's the whole tip. Number 28. Make a decision on the drink package tonight. Stop going back and forth. Here's how people lose money on this. They can't decide on day 1, so they pay drink by drink for 2 days. Then they feel like they're overspending, so they buy the package. Except now they've already paid separately for half the drinks the package would have covered. Royal Caribbean's packages run $75 to $90 per person per day. Break even is roughly 5 to 6 alcoholic drinks. Norwegian and Carnival are in the same range. After today, you have real data. How many drinks did you actually have? Were you genuinely enjoying enjoying them or ordering just to justify a package you're already thinking about? Be honest with yourself. Make the call tonight. One decision is worth more than 7 days of second guessing. Number 30. This is the one I promised you at the start. Never use your phone's clock as your time reference on a ship. Here's what happens. Overnight, the ship sails into a new time zone. Your phone detects the change automatically and adjusts, but the ship runs on its own official clock, what's called ship time. And ship time is set by the captain, not by your phone's network, not by your carrier. The two clocks don't always match. And in the morning when your phone says 8:47, the ship's clock may say 9:47. Your shore excursion left at 9. You missed it. Cruise insurance does not cover this. There is no refund. The bus is gone. The guide is gone. I know people this has happened to. It is not a small thing when you've looked forward to a port for months. Every evening before you sleep, open the ship's daily planner. The paper version slipped under your door or the app schedule inside. That clock is the only one that counts. Your phone is wrong until proven otherwise. Number 30. Go to bed at a reasonable hour tonight. I'll be direct. This is the one people ignore the most, and it does the most damage. Travel fatigue doesn't care that you're on vacation. The flight, the connection, the port, the boarding, your body has been working since before you even got to the terminal. Stay up until 2 in the morning on night 1, and day 2 is already compromised. You sleep through breakfast, you miss the best part of your first port morning. You spend half the day catching up on rest instead of catching up on everything you came here to see. Tomorrow is your first real day. The ports, the views, the people. The reason you booked this cruise in the first place. Protect that day. The ship will still be there at midnight tomorrow. Tonight, let it go. That's all 30. And if you've watched both parts, you already know more than most people who've taken 10 cruises. None of these feel like big mistakes when they're happening. That's exactly the point. It's always the small things. The small things that quietly cost the most money, drain the most energy, and turn a trip you planned for months into something smaller than it should have been. You now know what to do instead. If this helped, hit subscribe. We publish tips like this every week, practical things that most passengers only learn the hard way. And drop a comment below. What's one thing that caught you off guard on your first day at sea? The one thing nobody warned you about. I read every single one. Safe travels, and enjoy every moment of that first day.